Hey guys, this is Jerry. By popular demand, you guys wanted to see me talk about Logic Girl. If you guys don't remember who this girl is, in a lot of those Elf Girl episodes, she was one of the girls who would go down, try to use logic to get the guys to go with them. It didn't work for her, but it's a fascinating character, so I decided to go find some more footage. Here's what I could find. It's a different type of funny cringe because she's more masculine than any of the guys that try to chase her or she tries to chase, etc. So let's watch, let's have some fun, and I will have a hot dog and watch with you guys.
因为我们在台上只有短短的几十分钟而已嘛，所以之前我们都没有见过，所以我不了解。我希望你们每个人搜出自己你们的身上的一些特质，然后能跟我长久走下去的，就是说你说你的卖点，对，这么说，对。
That's right, people. It's a job interview. It's not even a job interview. It's like a job fair interview. I think most Chinese men probably suck at interviews, right? They let the numbers speak for themselves. The interview part's just a formality. Unlike in America, a lot of times interviews are actually the make or break of a person. You could have the best qualifications, but if your interview sucks, they will actually reject you. That rarely happens in China. Not only is she doing this, but also it's almost like speed dating. She'd be a really good speed dater. You guys tell me exactly why I should pick. I mean, I guess she's so busy, right? Whatever job she's working.
现在我是27岁，是上海本地的，然后我是做外企的一个产品经理，而且另外我性格是非常的温柔的，应该说，那我应该是像王力宏那样的一个男孩子，就是
哇塞，别骗自己了，
就是比较，我是说
你也太直率了吧？
我说性格上就是是一个阳光的运动男生嘛。
See, as much as she was blunt and as much as it seemed like she was being mean, this is Wang Lihong right here. Does that look like our man at all? And Wang Lihong's a singer, very famous singer in China. So unless he's got those abilities, he's either good looking or he has a singer type of talent. Comparing yourself to Wang Lihong is probably not the best idea, especially since the love songs that Wang Lihong sings are a certain type of vibe. You don't know how he really is as a person, so this guy is failing. I don't know what exactly he's trying to do. Part of it is just nervous. He's in front of a pretty girl. Some of you might say she's not pretty. He's in front of a pretty girl and put on the spot, like speed dating, like an interview on the spot.
所以我希望能够作为一个辅助的角色，我是非常乐意充当的，在生活中我来为你奉献更多的一些温暖嘛，是这样子，好吧。
So I will pose a question to you guys because he wants to be second fiddle. He wants to be the auxiliary, the supplemental to her. So he wants to be the one to support her. These type of strong women, these type of super alpha women, are they looking for someone to play the other polarity? So they're looking for a very suck up type of passive guy? Or are they actually looking for a guy that can take the lead and dominate them even more? That's the question I'm gonna pose for you guys. What do you guys think, man? This type of girl, obviously she's got a high position in a company. She seems to really know what she wants. She seems very blunt. But is she secretly looking for someone who can like really hold the reins, tell her what to do so she doesn't have to? What do you guys think, man? This is some deep psychological stuff. If this were a year ago, maybe I would have answered the question, but as of now, I want you guys to chime in on this. So looking forward to your comments.
女嘉宾你好，这边啊，我首先接受你的面试。
应聘什么职位？
应聘
未来男朋友吗？
对，未来男朋友。然后我跟你的经历特别相似，我属于北漂一族，然后我也曾经住过地下室，也住过公园，我能体会到那些艰辛，然后能体会到那些苦，我更体会到了你需要去呵护。那么我应孙红雷的一句话就是以后啊，外边这种小事儿就交给我，然后家里的事交给你。
我真不信，
请你相信我。
你的无厘头。
我并不是无厘头，我只是一开始的急剧的想表现自己，
然后就很紧张是吗？
我这种紧张并不代表真的紧张，
没有，你的表现就是很紧张的样子，因为我看的人比较多了。
那好吧，我是紧张的人。
That was so rough, man. Wow, I'm just dying. Just because it seems like she's insulting you doesn't mean she's actually insulting you. The guy got called Wu Li Tou, which is based on Stephen Chow, Zhou Xinchi. If you guys are familiar with Kung Fu Hustle and movies like that, It's very 无厘头. It's just random stuff happening. That's what 无厘头 means. It seems like an insult, but again, she's this kind of strong woman. You don't know if she's actually insulting you. Maybe this is actually her way of flirting with you. But automatically, look how he interpreted it. He just got really insecure, got really defensive. He's like, oh, no, I'm not 无厘头. Oh my God, I'm not. The other thing is, if she challenges you, hold firm if you really believe in it. Or the other side is, if it is true, just admit to it. So if you're really not nervous, just hold firm to it. But if you're really nervous, just say, look, I'm nervous, all right? This is a freaking live TV. It's kind of intimidating. He kind of held firm for like 2 seconds and then immediately agreed with her. If there's one takeaway from this, just because someone's insulting you, bitchy girl behavior, right? Just because she's insulting you does not always mean that she's actually insulting you. I know that sounds weird, but sometimes it's a flirtation, or even if it's not a flirtation, you can interpret it as flirtation. It disarms her sometimes if you turn it around and interpret it as flirtation. Here's a very easy thing he could have done. She's calling him 无厘头. You go, girl, when you like someone, is that always what you do? You always insult them? Look at that, you turn it around. Now you're putting her on the defense. She's like, oh, do I like this guy? Oh my God, ah! But let's keep watching.
我觉得我在台上只想给你2个字：加油！我很力挺你，
不是，
我力挺你，加油加油，高飞，加油加油！
心酸的2个字，加油！
太心酸了，高飞。你刚表达完，人家就把你就给直接给。对不起，高飞。
对不起，不好意思，加油。
I mean, when he spoke, he just sounded so girly. In Chinese culture, they wouldn't have any problem saying, oh, you sound gay, 娘娘腔. He just sounded very unconfident, very nervous, and she called him out on it. It doesn't answer the question I posed last time when I cut back to me, which was if she likes feminine guys, because this guy, I wouldn't call it feminine. He's just nervous, right? A guy who's really feminine and just comfortable being that, I wonder if she's gonna like it. But I think the lesson we can learn from this is that just don't be nervous, man. Oh my God. And also, guys, he's dressed more colorful than she is. That's a good fashion tip too for a man. His outfit just rubbed people wrong. It definitely rubbed her wrong. I mean, it rubbed me wrong too. I think she's being a little too mean, man. Just maybe the producers told her to put on this facade. You know, we haven't had a woman like this on the show, so let's just have you be like that. And this is a different way than Elf Girl, because Elf Girl kind of does it in her own kind of like scheming feminine way, but she's doing it in like a very masculine way. She's showing these guys who's the real guy, so to speak. Now, does that remind you of anything? Yeah, that's what I like to do, right? I just like to do that, honestly, because these things give me headaches a lot. In fact, one of the things that started happening after I got contacts is that I stopped getting as many headaches. One of the benefits of being nearsighted is that when you get nervous, you can take these off, and then you end up not seeing people clearly, right? And if you don't see them clearly, there's less to get nervous about, because there's less to process. I don't think he's doing this. He's gonna try to justify it, try to mask it with something more. So let's see what he says, why he took off the glasses.
我觉得眼神的沟通不需要有那个镜框的阻碍，所以说我觉得尽管可能看得不太清，但是用心眼来看的话，可能看到的更是更真的距离。我的外表是看上去不是那么的很辣。
男嘉宾，我可以打断一下吗？你偏题了。我说你的卖点，你要讲你的特点。
因为一直在默默的观察你，因为什么？因为说如果真的喜欢一个人的话，讲的太多的话会分神。他嘴巴在讲话，可能想的是自己的事情，但是默默的看的话，观察会看到更深入的东西。你可能是外刚内柔，而我是外柔内刚。所以说，我现在想把内心刚的一面拿出来，我只讲最后一句话：丫头，跟我走吧。
Epic fail right there. I think the thought was good, but the execution was absolutely horrible. Here's why. Yato in Chinese means like servant girl or slave girl. He just called this strong woman, not used to being talked down to, he just called her a servant girl. If a grandma is talking smack or scolding a granddaughter, she called her Yato. 你这丫头 blah 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 blah. A lot of you love my cousin. My cousin, when my grandma was scolding her back in the day, because my cousin lived with my grandma for a little bit, she'd be like, 你这丫头 You don't call women in China 丫头. And just to make sure, I actually asked my cousin. I had her record a video to explain her thoughts on this use of the word 丫头. So let's hear what she has to say.
那如何去用丫头呢？如果我是一个男生，如果我喊一个女生叫丫头的话，就代表了这个女生应该是比我的年龄小的，就比这个男生的年龄小。这个女生呢，她应该没有什么社会经验，是比较单纯的一个女生，就是你会喊她丫头，然后就像是还在上学呀，或者是一个小妹妹那种，你可以喊她丫头。
So imagine a really strong woman, career woman. Imagine like Hillary Clinton or something, and you call her baby girl, or you call her little babe or something like that. It just doesn't work. We know that Logic Girl's very career oriented. She's very high up in the corporate ladder. She's being called Yato. She's being called something reserved for younger, naive women.
我觉得用丫头的人也不多，她也没有那么的火，但是呢，也有一些男生是喊自己的女朋友啊，或者自己喜欢的人叫丫头的。他这个也是有点暧昧的成分在里面，你可以喊她宝贝丫头啊，可以喊她小丫头，就会感觉对这个女生还是比较宠溺，就是这个语气还是比较宠溺的。也没有人喊过我丫头。
Again, the thought was good. The thought he was trying to put on was that I look kind of weak and everything, but I'm a really strong person. What would be the American equivalent to that? A Chinese person calling a girl a yato. So that's what I want to pose to you guys, because I can't think of it off the top of my head. I know some of you can. So what would be the equivalent?
先跟男嘉宾说，我觉得吧，我想找一个未来给我指引的人。我觉得目前刚才通过你的介绍，我们俩的职位包括很多东西很相似，都差不多。所以说我感觉我们俩在一块儿以后，我能想象到就跟我第二段恋爱是一样的。谢谢男嘉宾。
Elf Girl has done this stuff too. She would also say,
yeah, we are too similar. I don't think there's any connection.
So that's the kind of a risk of the dating game. If you tell someone we have all these things in common, then maybe she'll be like, but we're too similar. I don't feel anything. That's a risk you take. You know who this contestant looks like? He looks like David So. You know the YouTuber David So? Our Chinese David So person. She's saying all this, but ultimately, let's just be honest, she's not attracted to that type of look. I just have a feeling I know what type of look she's attracted to. If she is a really strong woman, she's probably attracted to like a very pretty boy looking type of guy. So maybe a guy who has the Korean look or just a more feminine type of look. That guy that Big Eye Girl liked, for example, that's the type of guy's look that she would like. A more nerdy type of look like mine, or like this Chinese David So, probably would not appeal to her. That's ultimately what it is. She's already prejudged based on looks, basically.
是这样的，今天呢，男嘉宾你很优秀，你很好，就是我觉得你的气场 hold 不住我。谢谢男嘉宾，你可以退下了。
好，拜拜，女王大人。
谢谢张晋。
Dude, he got sassy with her. He's like queen or called her empress. That's hilarious. I think everyone in the audience watching knows that this is overboard. I asked my cousin, I said, how would a woman in China control a man, or how would she think about how controlling she can be of a man? So let's see what my cousin says.
So I just finished both my hot dogs, man. It's fun to eat and watch at the same time. Shout out to Maggie's, by the way. Not Maggie, the cute girl that was a host on the show one time, but there's a place here in the Grove called Maggie's. I think I know what she wants, because she also now revealed this. She doesn't want a guy who she thinks she has to take the lead. So she wants a feminine-looking guy who has very masculine traits, who is even more domineering and alpha than she is. So let's see if she can find someone like that, because none of these guys so far fulfill that criteria. Here we go.
是这样的，因为之前我对你有了解，然后你是北京的，并且就是生活上比较细腻，对，而且会做饭。
So I guess it's revealed, people. Is he the type? I mean, he's feminine looking, right? We will have to wait to see what kind of personality he is. So let's watch and let's see if she manages to get him off.
所以说，今天我从北京给你空运了一件围裙，带来一个礼物。并且我希望给你带上。是这样的，我在百忙之中抽出时间，就为了第一而来。男嘉宾你很优秀，你很好，所以说我就想把弟弟带走。
just because he likes to cook does not mean that's his defining characteristic. You gave him a little apron like he's your little servant. He's your little chef at him. What are you doing? So no, I think she failed right here. Like if that were me, saw you like to cook, oh, you should be my little private chef. I'd be like, fuck you.
挺好的，但是我还是觉得有必要说一下，就是咱都在北京生活打拼都很不容易，然后都是要在外面那种感觉我懂，我也很迫切想找到一个能够陪伴的人，但是最关键的一点就是我觉得我在你的身边
hold 不住。
可以这么说，但就是没有存在感。
对。
因为我觉得你生活上也能够自理，
根本不需要男人吗？就那意思是吗？
对，生活上也能自理，然后你对事业还有更高的要求，然后我也是，所以两个人都那么忙的话，根本就没有时间来维系这段感情。但是如果做朋友的话，我们这姐们儿交定了。
She just got friend-zoned. And I don't think her struggles are at all unique to her. I mean, I know a lot of women, they're super high up in the corporate world. They earn a lot of money. They spend that money to travel, to do all that. Very few guys will fulfill their criteria, right? She's one of them. And when you do find a guy that fulfills that criteria, he probably doesn't want someone like this because every day there's a chance he's gonna feel a little inadequate. Guys in society were kind of expendable anyways, right? So there's not much for us to feel a sense of belonging and a sense of confidence about. Most guys, maybe it's their kids, maybe it's their family, maybe it's their job, maybe it's their income. Sometimes if they have faith, it's their love of God and God's love of them. But as guys, there's fewer things to feel really proud of in society, especially in Western society that's kind of flipped another way towards the gynocracy direction. If you're gonna be with someone like this logic girl, your risk of feeling proud about your career path is also at stake. I totally understand why maybe objectively the two of them are okay, but subjectively, he wants someone that at least there's one or two things about her that he is better at, he's more superior at. If you're better than, whether it's a friend, whether it's a relationship, whatever, you're better than him or her at everything, then there's no reason to be with him or her, right? So there's got to be a few things that you complement each other on. And I think a lot of the people I know, the career women, the strong women, the women with really high standards, and objectively so, maybe they deserve it, is that very likely they kind of accept it half jokingly, like, oh yeah, I think I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. I'll be one of those single career women. I think you just have to accept it if you're going down that path. I think for men, you kind of have to accept it too, but the difference between men is that our biological clocks are slower. We could be like 60 and still end up with a 30-year-old, but for a woman, it's very rare if you're 60 and you end up with a 30-year-old. I was randomly in Beverly Hills the other day, and I went to this hotel, and in there was like a 40 or 50-year-old woman with like a 20-year-old guy. That stuff's rare, man. You're just like, okay, what is he in it for? What is she in it for? Socially, it's a little unacceptable. And from an objective standpoint, there's just something not canny about it.
结构我已经知道了，我只是想告诉你而已，我要坚持你而已，我只是想过来告诉你，你接受不接受已经不重要了，你知道了就好。
很好，那不好意思，
谢谢。彼得，我们甚至从某种意义上说，我都很钦佩你。
我可以抱他一下。
没有，这样吧，我们做一个场景，你给我戴一个皇冠，看过那个《小时代》吗？
看过。
戴上吧。
好吧。
像扣了一口锅上去。
好，谢谢。
谢谢大家。
It almost feels like all she did was just cross something off her bucket list. Like she wasn't completely serious about coming on this show to get a guy. All she wanted to do was like, maybe one day she woke up, she's like, hey, that dating show that everyone's crazy about, I kind of want to be on it. So I'm just going to go on it and cross off something on my bucket list. It seems like the vibe I get from it. She's gonna be happy, just be like, oh yeah, I was on here, I did it, etc. If you guys want me to find more footage of this, I can. The difference between elf girl and this type of girl is that elf girl I'd probably still talk to. This type of girl, hear one word out of her and just run. I take this cough and I splash it in her. I don't do well with really domineering women, and I think most people that watch my channel are the same. I don't think I need to explain why. For those of you that watch my channel that are maybe more masculine women or more take the lead type women, what lessons did you learn from this, man? I feel there's a lot of good lessons. How have you changed throughout the years? I think for all the guys that watch this channel, have you ever dated really domineering career women? Or if not, would you consider, like, for example, would you go with this logic girl? Just seems like way too much trouble. It's like a different type of trouble. You know that old expression guys say, oh, she got so controlling, she started getting controlling. So here's an interesting one. I mean, this is an either or type of thing, so maybe we need a third option. Would you rather deal with a scheming, manipulative girl like Elf Girl, or would you deal with a kind of a controlling, more career type of woman like Logic Girl? Or would you deal with kind of like a more ditzy, say whatever the heck's on her mind type of girl, like Big Eyed Girl? What do you guys think, man? I think that's a really interesting type of survey. Since I feature my cousin in this video, what type of girl is my cousin? Like, my cousin's not an elf girl. Like, she's not that kind of personality, and I don't think she's the domineering type of Logic Girl. So it's got to be a fourth category. We got to lump my cousin in. Maybe I'll have to bring my cousin on and we'll have to do a video on what type of girl she represents. You know, there's different archetypes, right? I think if you break it down, there's probably like 18 to 20 different types. Probably could capture about 80 to 90% of women out there. Of course, there are exceptions. I thought I'd make this shorter, but this actually turned out pretty long too, which is fine. At least it felt short to me, right? One of the reasons I stopped making these videos was because it just felt like too much work to me. It was fun, but it still felt like too much work. But this honestly didn't feel like too much work. I think we'll keep it this length or shorter. I won't go any longer. I have a Subscribestar account now. So if you guys aren't pledging on Patreon, which I welcome you guys to do, but if you want to pledge on Subscribestar, you guys can. The only difference is if I get more controversial on this channel, one day I might get deplatformed from Patreon, but Subscribestar definitely won't. You guys can pledge on Subscribestar or Patreon or whatever. We'll try to do one of these once a week. Again, shorter length, more funny. All right, guys, thank you so much. Talk to you guys soon, man.